This wreath is brought to you by Hobby Lobby. So let's make a back to school wreath. This is the perfect school wreath. This is the perfect fall wreath if you love your apples. But listen, I've been asked to make an apple wreath for years, and you guys, I've never gotten around to it. But I got inspired to do a back to school wreath with an apple. And you know what's even better? You can get all of the products from Hobby Lobby, and I'm even going to teach you how to make an apple frame. So let's get started. I'm really excited to show you how to make an apple wreath tonight. So one of the things that I've been asked for ages is, Julie, can you make us an apple wreath? And I just have never done it. I've done a pumpkin wreath, but tonight we're gonna do an apple wreath, and we're gonna give it a back to school kind of like a spin on it, okay? So whether you like apples or you need a good back to school present for your teacher or your favorite teacher, this would be the perfect wreath for them to hang up on their classroom door for school this year. So let's get started by taking a heart wreath form and a 16-inch wreath form, and let's turn it into an apple form. Okay, so I have a heart frame and a round frame, and you're probably wondering, Julie, how are you going to do that? That's a round frame. Well, we're going to cut some of this frame out. So what we're going to do first is we are going to look at the brackets. We're going to put the wreath where the point of the heart is on this bracket, and the center is facing the top bracket, and then you have two brackets there. So what I want you to do is I want you to start off by taking a zip tie, wire, pipe cleaners, whatever you have on hand will work. And I'm going to just connect it. So I'm going to connect it probably in two spots here on both sides of this bracket. This is what I call a bracket. In a wreath form, I always call these the brackets. So if you're wondering what Julie's talking about, that's what I'm talking about. So we're just going to pull this through and connect this, and then I'm going to connect at the top as well. Okay, I'm going to pull really tight, as tight as I can pull it. All right, I'm going to kind of pull this so that's on top, and then I'm going to connect here as well. So this one is going that direction. So what I want to do is I want to kind of like run it through, and I'm going to go underneath here. And it doesn't matter the way it looks. It really doesn't. We just want it to be secure, okay? So whatever that does to be secure is all I need, okay? I'm gonna push this one over a little bit. And then we're gonna put two zip ties here as well. Okay, so here's the scary part. We're gonna cut this part off, okay? You're gonna take some heavy duty wire cutters and you're gonna cut off this side, okay? Now, I see what I did. I need to maybe take another wire or zip tie, and I'm just going to slip it on this side of the bracket. So as you go, you might have to make some adjustments like I just did, because we don't want to lose any of this. Because now I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to cut it a little bit further away because I want to make sure I don't cut the heart wreath. Okay. All right. So that's good. I'm going to cut that again. I want to get closer, and then we're going to put some hot glue on the back of that, okay? Oops, that went flying through the air. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here. So now that you've done that, I want you to take your hot glue gun. Let's find some felt or something to put underneath of this so that it doesn't make a mess of my mat. But you're going to just take your hot glue gun, and you're now going to add glue to where the brackets are. And this is the Gorilla glue stick. So again, this is like the only kind of glue sticks I get, and you can get all of this at Hobby Lobby. And I even put it on the edges of where we cut so that it will kind of like form a nice little a little buffer so that the wires won't be so sharp. So we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, so we have our wreath form connected. We have it cut out. I know it looks a little silly, but that's okay. So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna walk over to the yarn section and the embroidery section, and you're gonna find this plastic canvas. Now they have several different kinds. This is a 5 count, which means it's 5 squares per inch. And I like the bigger squares just simply because I wear bifocals and or progressive lenses and I need the bigger holes. I don't know about you guys, but this is such a great piece of material to help you in so many different crafts. So remember to check out that aisle when you're at Hobby Lobby. So basically what we're going to do is I don't need the canvas to be in this section right here. Okay. We don't need that at all. So what I want to do is I want to create a spot where it's here, here, and here, but we're going to take it a step further. You're going to use your art skills. I know you might think, but Julie, I don't have any. Yes, you do. You can do this. Okay. So right here at the edge, because we have such a like angular shape there, we're going to kind of smooth that out because we're going to cut it and we're going to go to this point so that we're going to kind of make that apple shape. And just a little side note here is you could do this and turn it into a pumpkin for fall too. So either way, you're good to go. All right, so now I've got that cut. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a line here because again, I don't want it to go on these sides because we're gonna do a little bit of a different technique when it comes to the outside of this frame. And then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna just trace the inside here, okay? So you're gonna create a shape to kind of give that some edges, and then you're gonna come in and you're gonna take this and you're going to cut it out. So when I pull this up, even though you can't really see that, you're gonna see, let's see here. I can see it, but you can't. Let me see here. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna put, there we go. This will be what we need. And this will help connect everything right here. Oops. I got to get in the right spot here. Did I get in the right spot? That one's good. All right, so now we're good. Okay, so your lines might be a little bit off by mine, like mine are, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So I'm gonna go cut this out and then I'll be right back. Okay, so once you have it cut out, don't just throw this in the trash. We're gonna use it for later, so hold on to it. Then you're gonna take your makeshift form here and you're gonna go over it and find out where is the best spots. You know, I'm a little short over here, but that's okay. We're gonna just take some zip ties and we're gonna start connecting it to our form. And then that way it will start us off. So I'm gonna like maybe start it here and here. And I like to do them like at the end, at the bottom and then at the top. And that's how I kind of, whenever I put a plastic canvas with a frame, this is what I do. So do it on this side, and then you're just gonna go around and you're going to connect it to the frame all the way around. You won't need too many, but one here, at least 3 over on each side, and then connect it over here as well, and then we'll get started. All right, here's a quick tip if you want to put a back on your wreath. Now I have some green felt. I get all my felt at Hobby Lobby. This is a total optional step here. Really, if it's going to be seen on the back side, you might want to do this, but if not, that's okay too. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to trace this out, and then I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll have it ready to go to put on the back. See, I traced it a little big there. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out, and then we can attach it when we're done. Okay, so here's the fun part. Let's start putting it together. So you can get these rolls of burlap ribbon in the ribbon section at Hobby Lobby. And this comes in a 15-foot roll. And so we're just gonna rip it open here and get started. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna gather it, all right? And I'm gonna start with taking a half of a pipe cleaner and putting at the center of my wreath form here that I made. Now I'm just gonna take it and we're just going to twist it. And then we're just gonna kind of loop that form underneath the Chanel stem, because we don't really want to have it sticking out. All right, so now let's take this and put another one, and we're going to go around this part here, and then we're going to go back and forth. So I'm going to take another pipe cleaner, and I'm going to go through the plastic grid here. This is what this canvas is so nice for, okay? So here's the question: how much do you need? Okay, so you're going to take your hand, and I'm going to go from about the bottom of my hand to my middle finger, okay? And then I'm going to gather it, and then I'm going to tie it in that little chenille stem. You're going to just twist it and then go and then poke it underneath, right? Let's do another one. And we're going to put the chenille stems about a ½ inch away from each other. I'm going to just kind of take it and put my hand there, and then I'm going to pinch it. And then this way it will give us a uniform look. Now, your hand might be bigger or smaller, so you might need to add a little bit. I can tell you right now that my hand is about a little bit over 6 inches. From here to here, it's a little bit over 6 inches. So if that gives you a little bit of an idea of what you'll need to do. So you're going to just keep adding a chenille stem. Look like an apple, okay? So I'm going to kind of come this way with it now, all right? So we've got this part that we want to cover. So I'm going to put a chenille stem right here underneath these two. This frame. This is bar 2. And I'm going to twist that one a little bit. I'm going to make my measurement with my hand. And then I'm going to push this out towards the edge of the frame. And then I'm going to tuck in that chenille stem. All right. So now that we've gone out here, I'm going to go back this way. All right. And take another one of these, and let's put it about right here. You can cut these if you feel like it's a little bit much. If you are having a hard time hiding those chenille stems, just cut them. It's okay. And so I'm going to go back here. And then before going this way, I'm going to cut up here, and then I'm going to come back. Okay. So I'm going to film this in like a fast forward motion to show you. So we're going to come here, and then we're going to go up, around, and come back to meet that second row. Okay. So hold on and watch me do it. Okay, so as you can see, it's coming together beautifully. So we're going to keep doing the same thing. So we're going to keep going back up our wreath frame, come back down, and then go up and come back. So the middle section is always going to be your meeting point, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing. I thought about doing a pull-through method on the wire here, but I'm really liking the way that this is coming together, and I feel like we're going to use a lot less of the burlap so that it's not too heavy of a wreath. We're going to make a sign for this wreath too for the classroom in a moment here, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same technique all the way back. I'll film myself doing it in a really fast motion here. I'll time lapse it for you guys, and then we'll start on the rest of this wreath. Now, let me just tell you one thing. So when you're at the end, you're just going to simply take another roll and start it where you ended at. It's that easy. Okay, so we're almost done. We're on roll 4, which will be more than enough to carry this whole wreath. So 4 rolls of the burlap is what you're going to need. So what I have left is, if you pull back the burlap, I have a little bit of the white left and the frame. So I'm going to kind of zigzag back and forth here until we get this nice and full. And basically what you're going to do, I mean, you could do this less full if you didn't want it so tight like I have it, but you're just going to go back through and you're just going to fluff out your burlap, and it's going to be beautiful. So just keep doing what you're doing with me here. And I'm going to just go back. I'm going to go up through the canvas and that middle section of that original wreath form. I'm I'm going to take my little section here and we're going to put it down. There is no, you can't mess this up. You really can't. It's pretty simple. If you have the patience to sit here and do it, watch a show, it's easy to do. Okay, so we got to the end and I want to make one more loop here. So I'm going to just flip this over and I'm going to cut this. So you'll have about that much left, depending how big your hand is, because I'm using my hand. So I'm going to just take it and I'm going to actually go through this frame like so, because I just felt like it needed one more little loop here. And I'm going to take, you can either take a zip tie or a pipe cleaner. It's really up to you. I'm just going to grab the zip tie that's right here. And then you can just even like tuck it in down into the wreath because it's not going to be shown. And remember, I'm going to put something on the back of that. Now, if you look at the back of this wreath, does anything look perfect? Absolutely not. So that's why I like to encourage you guys. Everything when it comes to crafting does not have to be perfect, but you have to try. You have to try to give it your go at it and see what you can do, because you'll never know if you don't give it a try. So here's the base of our apple, and I think that looks like an apple. I'm pretty happy with it. Remember, if you wanted to make this a pumpkin, Hobby Lobby has orange burlap too. Do the same thing and you've got yourself a pumpkin. So really this is a video, a 2-in-1, guys, a 2-in-1. So let's get the next thing. Let's get out the leaf and the stem and work on that. All right, so what I have next is this. It's a felt and it's the stiffer type of felt. They have lots of different felts in the back of the store, and you can pick it up there. So what I'm going to do, I know this sounds weird, but you just need a circle. And so I have this Hobby Lobby ribbon that I love to keep on hand because I feel like this is the perfect burlap ribbon with wire in it to make the perfect bow for any occasion. So honestly, I'm just going to take, let's see if we can just pop this off. I'm just going to use this. You can use, see, I can pop it right off. So basically we want to make a leaf, all right? So I'm going to take my Sharpie here and, oops, let's get this out of the way. And we're going to use this as a template. If you want to do something different, do something different. So I'm going to do half of a circle there, and then I'm going to flip it over and we're going to do another circle. And let's see how this looks. I wasn't good in geometry, so let's see. No, I really don't like that one. Let's try that again. So we don't need quite that big of a leaf there. So let's try this. Okay, that's a much better leaf. So I'm going to cut this out. So you can freestyle this. You can do anything you want. So I'm going to cut out a couple of these and we're going to use them. Actually, oops, I need to make it a little bit nicer. So you're going to need at least a couple, maybe cut out 3 and just kind of play with it how you want it on your wreath, okay? Okay, so we have our little leaves here for our apple. I originally was going to use some of this canvas mesh for the stem, but honestly, I don't think we need it because this will do just fine. And all we're going to do is take a bit of this ribbon. You can purchase it at the smaller length, or if you like to get the jumbo roll like I do, this is always a great deal. So I'm going to just take about, let's see, let's take about 13 inches. I think, no, let's do 14. We're going to do 14 inches because that will give us enough to work with. And you're just going to cut it. That's all there is to it. Then you're going to just take it, and there's a bad side. This is the bad side. So we're going to take it and fold it over, and we are going to just gather it together, and then we're going to zip tie this. Let's look at from the front so you can see there's our little stem. Okay. Then we're going to take a zip tie. This is also where we're going to put a little hook for our wreath too. Go through there and just zip tie it there. All right. Pretty simple. Pull this really good. I always like to pull my zip ties over like so. All right. And then you can just kind of pull it. You can kind of shape it. And now we have our little stem to our apple. If you want to make it bigger, make it longer, but that's what about 14 inches is going to get you. Now we're going to take our little leaves, and I think the best way that we're going to do this is we're simply going to add this with a little bit of glue, okay? So I have one here. So I'm going to put one like right at the base of our stem there. I'm going to grab my glue gun. You can get these at Hobby Lobby as well. I think I've told you that before in this video. In the description box below, I will have a playlist with all of our Hobby Lobby projects in one place so that you can watch them all. So whether it's for Christmas or July 4th, we did one a few weeks ago, or for spring weddings, we have done so many different projects with Hobby Lobby. So make sure you check them all out down there. I think this is going to be so much fun, and you guys have been asking for an apple wreath for a long time, and I have not delivered until today. So let's see how the two look, and I'm just going to kind of eye it and see. All right, I don't know. Should we add another one? Should we add one more down here? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to think about that. In the meantime, let's make the sign for our classroom. Okay, so we're gonna put a chalkboard on our sign here, or on our wreath, I should say. And so I tell you guys this every time we do a Hobby Lobby project. What do I tell you? Walk up and down the aisles at Hobby Lobby and find what they have on hand. The reason why I tell you that is I find stuff like this. So this all came from the cardstock and the sticker selection in the back of the store. This is just a black canvas that the reason why I picked this out was because it was fairly light. There's a lot, not very, but there's a lot of different options. You can go with a blackboard. If you have a gift in writing and beautiful hand lettering, which I do not, at least I don't feel like I do, I wanted to do this because I thought to myself, these sticker letters will look better than my handwriting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open this and we're going to put welcome back. Okay, so let's find the words, and I'm going to put the letters on our little blackboard here. Okay, so this is what I came up with. I'm not that great at centering everything out, but again, use the stickers any way you want, personalize it to the classroom that you want to use it for, or even if it's for your own front door, personalize it the way you want to do it. So I'm going to take some of my ribbon here from this spool, and we're going to just kind of glue a little bit of a frame onto this. I wanted to keep this pretty light as far as weight, because burlap can tend to be a little heavy, and so we just want to keep that wreath a little bit lighter than normal, just because a lot of times people will put these on like the little hooks instead of a nail, and it'll be on a door, so it might be on a piece of glass. So we just want to make this as light as possible. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, just a few dots, not a lot. We don't need a lot here. And we're just going to create a little frame, okay, on the side. And you're just going to do this with all four sides. So I'm just going to go over, I'm going to let this go and dry. And then we're going to flip it over. Let's see if we can flip it over. Okay. And then glue the back on here. This is what scissors are for. That helps hold everything down when you're hot gluing. Okay, so once you get the top and the bottom done, the sides will be our finishing touch here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Again, this is just an idea. If you'd rather just buy one of the signs, you can. So I just thought this would be cute, and then it would be a little bit lighter. Okay, so I'm going to glue this, and then I'm going to fold this like a Christmas present, and we're going to be done. That should hold us make our little edges seem a little bit tidier than they were. All right, sure. Actually, you know what? Let's cut out a little bit of this. I'm gonna cut out a chunk. Cut out a corner so it's not so bulky. Okay. Oops, it's sticking to my fingers. All right, now let's do this. There we go. And then you could even take a staple gun if you wanted to. I have a staple gun. Let me go grab it. Let's use my staple gun for this. Okay, I'm not sure why I didn't get this out before because there's staples right there. So literally we can make this work, right? I wouldn't do it on the front. If you did it on the front, I would have like something, you know, to put on it. But I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and then we are just going to take some, before we go, let me just take a few of these red pipe cleaners, and we're going to use the staple gun here, and we're going to literally staple this. And this is how we're going to, did I get that? No, I missed it. How am I not doing that? Are you guys having a good laugh? Okay, I'm going to do it right this time. There we go. I got it. I had to see where my thing was. Okay. And we're going to do it on this side. Okay. I'll finish the other part and then we can put this together. Okay, so the final touch is our little sign here. You could do so many more things. You could add pencils, rulers, all sorts of things to this. It's really up to you and what you want to do. And like if it's a history teacher or a science teacher, you could just add some really cute touches to it. Computer, all those things. But I kind of feel like an apple represents back to school. What do you give the teacher? You give her an apple. So I'm just going to take it and I'm literally going to the back here and we're just going to twist it on. Just make that. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is I need to make a little loop here. So you can do one of two things. You can use a pipe cleaner, or you could even use a zip tie. I'm going to use this pipe cleaner here because we have it right here. So I'm going to take it, just go through the canvas, go up and through the wire here. So it's underneath that wire frame. And then I'm going to twist it really good so that it will be hidden behind our little stem of our apple. Okay. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach this with some zip ties. What I like to do is I like to take a zip tie, or you could even glue this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm looking for my zip tie. There we go. And basically all you're going to do is you're going to poke a hole. This is not my sharpest scissors. You know what? I can see the marker. Let's flip that over. I don't want to see the marker there. You're just going to make a little hole, go through there, and you can do it with a zip tie, or you can add some glue to it too. Really up to you. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to go all the way around it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's on, the back is on, and this is ready for me to give to my friend, Mrs. Collins. Listen, thank you, Hobby Lobby, for sponsoring tonight's video. If you watched all the way through, I always ask you guys to leave an emoji. I think this is a given when I say to leave an apple emoji. And if you can't find the emojis on your device, just write apple or welcome back to school. I know school is going to be starting before you know it. So let me know also in the comments, when does school start for you in your state? Because I know some of you guys start like the 1st of August. So this is the perfect wreath to go to Hobby Lobby, get all the supplies, personalize it to your favorite teacher, and have a wonderful school year. So until next week, we'll see ya on Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.